In this section, we want to cover a little bit about some of the additional attributes that are associated with the effects on your Express console. In addition to being able to adjust the timing parameters, there are a couple of other key things that you can add to an effect to get a little bit more variety in your effects. So I'm looking at a cue that I already have created as an effect. It's my cue 51. Where we want to look, first of all, for information about this is directly above the table here. We want to look at what an area called attributes. Right now we just see something that's attributes that says positive. I can actually change that. Here in more soft keys, hit more soft keys one time. Soft key 8 then becomes a command called attribute. And by hitting attribute, my soft keys will all repage, and it will show me all of the different attributes available to me in this effect. The first thing you noticed is the attribute by default shows up as a positive effect. The opposite to the positive effect is soft key number 1, which is a negative effect. Now what this is going to do, whether effect is running in positive or negative, actually has something to do with the last two columns over here in your effect window, low and high. Basically what happens is when a step is active, the channels are going to go to the high level. When the step is inactive, the channel is going to go to the low level by default. That's a positive effect. So when we're looking at the effect, if it's a simple chase, all of the lights are off until the step is active and that one light comes on. So you get the base state, if you will, is lights off, and they turn on when the step becomes active. In a negative effect, it's exactly the opposite of that. So you could have an effect where the base state is on or at the high level, which we have set at full, and the effect will turn the lights off from there. So let's take a look at and how that's going to look. So I'm going to go ahead and hit soft key 1 to change the effect to negative. I'm going to go back to stage and I'm going to run that cue. Now you see that the effect is running kind of like a photo negative. So we have lights on, and instead of blinking on, they're blinking off. They use the same timing parameters and they use the same levels that I have, but they're basically doing the opposite, like a reverse, like a mirror image or a photo negative of the effect. So that is positive and negative on the effect. Let's go look at a couple of other ones. Again, more soft keys, and then attribute. I'm going to change the effect back to positive using soft key 1 so we can see what that is. Soft key number 2 is alternate, and what alternate will do is it will alternate between positive and negative. It will run the effect through one time positive, then it will run the effect through again negative, then it will run the effect through positive. So I don't need to show you that. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Reverse is just what it sounds like. It will run the effect in reverse as opposed to step 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's going to go 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. So you can run the effect in reverse. What bounce will do, again, it's aptly named. It will do just what that sounds like. So it will go 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2. So it kind of bounce in between the steps. So you can get kind of a zigzaggy back and forth. Now what build will do, build is an interesting one. What it kind of does is it brings the step 1 on, then it brings on step 2, then it brings on step 3, and it allows the effect to build to a point, and then it resets. And I'm going to go ahead and show you what that looks like so we can see that. So I'm going to hit soft key 5. You can see now my attributes say positive and build. Back out to stage, run cue 51. Step 1 starts, step 2 starts, step 3 starts, and it resets. 1, 2, 3, resets. 1, 2, 3, resets. So you can get this nice build effect, which is, you can imagine how that could be kind of useful in a marquee chase or some kind of park-hand chase if you're doing a very high energy show. A build effect could be kind of cool. Back to blind and looking at the effect in cue 51. More soft keys and attributes to get back. I'm going to turn build off, and to turn build off, I simply just toggle it off by hitting soft key 5 again. Random, what random will do is it will pick the steps in random order. A 3-step effect, random isn't going to look that exciting, but if you have a multi-step effect, random could be quite cool because it will just jump around and it will go in random order. And the last soft key that's available with an attribute, soft key 7, which is random rate. What random rate will do, and this one's kind of interesting, I'm going to go ahead and do random rate. It's going to ask me for a low rate. From 100, let's just say I'm going to pick 200 at the low end, and then I'm going to hit enter, and we'll select a high rate, and let's make it 750 at the high end, just just because. And now what it's going to do is each time a new step starts, the timing parameters the console will pick something between 200 and 750 and will apply it. So we're going to get some nice random timing. So let's take a look at how that appears when it runs. So the console is just going to pick rates at random and is going to run the effect kind of crazy like, which is kind of fun if you're trying to get a good random effect. So if you can imagine that combining this random rate with random step, you could get some really nice dynamic chase effects. And those are some of the additional attributes available to you in the effects package on your Express console.